To me, the most remarkable result of the election is the fact that Iain Duncan Smith is in the cabinet. I can't believe I'm even saying that. That's a sentence you should never have to say. Iain Duncan Smith is in the cabinet, unless you're possibly commentating on a game of ex-Tory leader hide and seek. Iain Duncan Smith is in the cabinet. William Hague is in the cabinet on the stairs. Michael Howard is hanging upside down from the bell. That joke never dies. So, Iain Duncan Smith, I realise some of you may not be familiar with Iain Duncan Smith for reasons of youth or foreignness, or just old-fashioned good luck. Iain Duncan Smith was briefly and rubbishly leader of the Conservative Party. They then got rid of him for being rubbish, which I thought very unfair, because he's never made a secret of being rubbish, let's be honest. They then felt bad about getting rid of him, and so they gave him something. They gave him the poor. He seemed to think he was then meant to do something with the poor. I don't think that was their plan. I think they were basically giving him the poor in the same way that you might give a baby a set of car keys, just something shiny for him to jangle. But unfortunately, Iain Duncan Smith hopped into the poor and reversed them over next door's cat. So he thought he was really meant to do something with the poor. So he came up with, did some research, and he came up with some policies. The main policy was, he said, that married people should pay less tax. I'm not quite sure how that was going to do anything to poverty. It seemed that the logic was basically, who doesn't love married people? And who doesn't love less tax? I think that's really as much thought as went into it. Let's take two things that people like and stick them in a sentence together. It was the same brainstorm that came up with free cherry aid for butterflies. But he seemed to think this would tackle poverty. I mean, it seems to me there are two ways of tackling poverty, really. One is to find out what the poor need and see if there's some way of giving it to them. He felt that one's a little bit obvious. He said then the option B, the Iain Duncan Smith method, is simply to stand next to the well-off and applaud. So my main concern about the policy of tax breaks for married couples is the effect this is going to have on slushy love songs. I am a purveyor of slushy love songs, and quite a lot of slushy love songs are set in the moment of marriage proposal, and that this is going to have a terrible effect on marriage proposals, because up until now, if someone's proposed marriage to you, you can be pretty sure that their main motivation is that they think you're ace. Whereas now that it's a tax benefit, there's almost going to be a slight feeling that they've got half a lie on their tax return. My darling, you are everything. You are my purpose. You are my life. And I would be so happy if you'll agree